Hey, JulesBlessedVegan, and as always, welcome to my channel. And for those of you who are new, I know you can benefit. So I am just kicking it with you guys right now. I am not even picking a topic because I've got a lot of things I need to do. My district finally surrendered. It decided that it was time to realize that the students would not be back, that we very much need to be doing our online and be doing our packets and everything. And we only had 48 hours to get in and get out. And so I went for it. And it was that's what I wanted to share today. The random acts of kindness, because on Jules Blessed Vegans, we've been doing random acts of kindness. It became far more difficult as we entered this period of the COVID-19 and the coronavirus and needing to social distance. And so this was a challenge for Lent. And Lent is the 45 days before Easter, which is the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ and the opportunity at salvation. And much like Advent, which was preparing for Christmas, I wanted us to bring a little bit of Easter to people through random acts of kindness. But I started to have to do things virtually. And of course, unless our cup is full, right? Unless we have enough love in our own heart, we can ill afford to give it. And so some of these random acts of kindness was things for ourselves, right? And some of them were for God, to literally take a moment and recognize God's beauty in the world, to take a moment and acknowledge His grace, to spend time in His presence. I mean, once it was 2 minutes, then it was 5. So just things like that. So the random act of kindness this time is to actually honor yourself by doing something that you're going to do. I talk about Tannyraw. I bring her up, and if you don't know her, please look her up on any social media platform. I think she's phenomenal, and I've loved watching her personal story of growth as she's gone from, her first humble video, almost 7 years ago on YouTube, that was 42 seconds long, to hour-long talks, to over 8,000 posts on Instagram and over 3,500 videos on YouTube. And just the generosity of her process of finding herself, of losing 90 pounds, of, navigating through largely raw vegan lifestyle, which was really not well known when she was first trying to find it, 18 years ago, and mastering it 13 years ago. And anyway, she's phenomenal. But one of the things, she's just straight up, okay? She does not play. She is straight up when she talks. And she will say, you know what? Decide what you want to be and proceed with being that. It's oh, no, you didn't. I mean, honestly. So, that's what this is. This random act of kindness. And I don't care how small it is. Find something for yourself that you continue to flounder with. That empty promise you make yourself all the time, and this time, do it. Actually do it. The blessing is for you, as always. The gift will be to yourself. But what is it? I don't even care. Is it one more cup of water in your day? Is it 5 minutes of prayer? Is it actually kneeling when you pray? There's nothing easy about that. I've been way heavier than I am now, and even now, I hardly trust myself, but I have been moved to kneel during this COVID time, I am telling you. What is it? Holding your tongue? I did something similar a few days back on this, but I really want you to experience the joy and success of doing what you promised yourself you would do for you. And the reason I bring this up is because I really had a fantastic experience today. I had to go to school, and my partner teacher wasn't going to be there. And I sometimes, honestly, it was pouring rain. I mean, that's an understatement. We don't get much rain in the desert, but when we do, I was looking for Noah's Ark, okay? So it was pouring rain. Everyone's social distancing, so it's not like I'm being accountable to anybody, okay? No one was going to be checking on me. And sometimes that means playing on social media. It means watching a YouTube video, whatever. It often means wasting time while pondering all the things that I need to do. And I will tell you, from 8 o'clock to 3:30, I did not skip a beat, and I barely took a breath. I was absolutely on task. And several times I was like, what's the big deal? I mean, you don't really need to get this done. And, you're going to have one more chance before you have to see the kids, on the 20th. So if you want, you could leave that. And then I kept setting times and I'd be like, okay, this much needs to be done by 11:15. I need to have this much done by 12:30. And inevitably every time I stopped and was like, I can't do it. I'm not going to make it. There's no way I could get this done. They were my own rules. Okay. They were infractions they placed on me, but I was chickening out and just going. I mean, I was hoping I could get that stack done, but I could tell I can't. And then my better self was like, yes, you can. Are you kidding? You're going to get way closer if you just do it. Let's do it. And all day long, that's how it was. It was cheering myself on, fighting myself and thinking I can do it, celebrating when I finally did. And I will tell you, at 3:30, and it was really lucky because I was supposed to be done by 3 o'clock, and I knew this one part that I really wanted to do. I was about to compromise. I was going to be like, whatever, I'll just throw it all on the table. I'll deal with it later. And God's grace, the overhead came on and said, teachers, the principal's running late and we're going to give you an extra half hour. And I was just like, seriously? And again, at that time, I could have said, well, too bad. I'm too tired anyway. And besides, I was going to, no. I was like, an extra half hour, rock and roll. I absolutely got that last objective done with no compromise. It was the best. It didn't matter that I hadn't eaten. I didn't need to eat. I made sure I was drinking fluids, and I just went for it. And it just felt so good. And when I sat in my car at the end of all of it, I just had to giggle. And I just had to think, wow, I didn't do that for anybody. I didn't do it because it was a deadline. I didn't do it to please a student. I didn't do it because the principal was coming in. I just did it for me. And I did it. And that just felt so good. Another thing Tannyraw always says is that moment plus moment equals momentum. And it was so true. I kept getting the momentum by daring to complete that one thing. And I'll tell you, it's so much of my life that way, where I constantly am fighting my better self. Like I have the plan, but then what I often refer to as my monkey mind, even though I feel really bad because look how innocent you are. And you're so little. What, you weigh 6 ounces? The guy is a terror. Don't let him fool you. What is that? Hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. This little kid causes so much trouble. But that's kind of the game, right? That cute little inner child. Oh, me. Yes, dear. You. No offense. Anyway, yeah, I'm always fighting that, and part of it is this feeling of, if I can ensure that I'll fail, what's the risk? I already know I'm going to fail. So, I kind of start from there instead of daring to succeed. And I think that's part of this situation. It was a lot of breakthrough with myself, and of course, always with the grace of God, of course, but just amongst myself, with myself, all those hours in that classroom, striving to get those things done. It inevitably brings up other things. And one of them is, I just was part of this Tannyraw reset, and I've told you guys about that reset every time. And praise God, she's daring to do another, and it is going to be on May 4th, but they do fill up, and it's $300, $299. Okay, close enough. And so I always tell you guys, save your pennies, because that reset is coming. And it is such a life changer. It's insane. I mean, it is 34 hours of live content. And that's just from what Tannyraw presents of all of her years of knowledge. And then inevitably there's 70 people. She tries to give it around 70 people who are all at different levels, constantly chatting, communicating, sharing their tips, sharing their recipes, sharing their desires, sharing their triumphs, sharing their their falters, all of it. It is like, I'm not going to say you won't sleep for 28 days, but you may not want to sleep for 28 days because it's so incredible. And again, that's coming up on May 4th. So it is the best investment in yourself you'll ever have. And like any good infomercial, that's less than $10 a day to change your health. But it really is. And it was so amazing. I don't know if the coronavirus will still be as heavily in play, but for many, it was a godsend and nobody felt alone or isolated in that group. All right, that said, it just ended. And so what I was going to say was in it, there was such tremendous success. And not everybody in that group is even trying to lose weight. Some people are actually trying to gain weight, right? They're too thin and they can't keep their weight on. But a lot of people, of course, are trying to lose weight. What was interesting to me was how incredibly people lost weight. I mean, oh my gosh, this one girl, she only weighed 154, which a ton of people are super comfortable with in the United States. I mean, they would love to weigh that. And she's 5'6". So like, yeah, 5'6", 154, what's the problem? The problem is our bodies were not designed to be padded. They just aren't. We're so comfortable with the love handles and everything else. They are not designed to be padded. And, certainly back in the day when we had to physically work to earn our way, people didn't have any padding. So most people know, if they really are living a raw lifestyle, that inevitably they'll get to the point where they are just completely lean and thin because that's the way the body's designed. So she literally went from 154 down to 139 in 28 days. Yeah. And was she eating? Absolutely. Just eating the right food. Another girl lost 17 pounds and she weighed like more. She weighed like 172 or something and she got down to, do the math, I'm tired. Is that 155? Yeah, like 155. It was astounding. So then the question was, well, what's your deal? Because you've got weight to lose. So what's up with you? And it's been very interesting for me. I was kind of thinking of that whole failure mentality, that if I know that I can't possibly be that successful, and let's be fair, I was a professional binger. I was a phenomenal weight gainer. I weighed 330 pounds and I'm a little under 200 now. So it's not like I haven't done anything, people, let's be fair. But I've only lost, and I don't even want to put myself down. I've released 60 pounds in the last, little over, just under 2 years, I guess, about 30 pounds a year. But I certainly have that 70 more to go because I think my body is about 128 and 5'7". That's reasonable to me. So anyway, it just gave me a chance to kind of reevaluate again and say, what is that? Because I know it is a mental game for me in many ways. And if people don't, like everyone says it's calorie for calorie. I know that I can retain weight for my mental frame of mind. I really do. It's astounding. I know that I can lose weight just by exhaling. I mean, like, that's how simple when I'm in the right frame of mind. I have lost 100 pounds overnight and I have gained 100 pounds overnight. And when I say overnight, I'm not kidding you. Like seemingly in just a couple months. Like you would have to be eating around the clock. That's not my story. It's really weird. Of course, I'm having allergies. Anyway, though, I did lose 8 pounds in that time in this month, which I was really grateful for. But for me, so much of it is being fear-based, not feeling confident enough in my body to let the weight go. And I know people won't even agree with that, and they'll just say it's an excuse, but I'm good. I'm good for what my truth is in this moment, and that's okay. But it just gave me another level of desire to succeed because I was like, the reason I could dare to do all I did, and I did so much, I literally moved all the furniture, and that was 30 desks, 30 chairs, flipping them up on top of each other. I took down all of the walls, which was over 100 papers, right, that I took down. I made literally 75 packets, and triple stapling all of them. I did all this stuff, in 8 hours. I just went crazy. Excuse me. Make a better choice. Make a better choice. Anyway, I did all of this stuff and I just thought, I can only do all of that because I'm choosing to eat right, because I'm choosing to be clean, because I'm choosing to honor my body. But then I was looking at what my calorie intake and things like that are, because of course I do consider that. And I was thinking, am I padding my food? Is there a way for me to really look at that? Excuse me. Because it's raining. Excuse me. Everyone's afraid that they have the COVID. It's raining, there's mold, and things are blooming in between all of this. So I'm fine. I feel fine. I'm having allergies. Trust me on that. Anyway, I just wanted to share that. It was a phenomenal day. It was a tremendous blessing. And I want you to take a moment as your random act of kindness to yourself in this week of Holy Week. And knowing that you are God's creation, perfectly imperfect, one of a kind in all of time. What can you do to build a little bit of momentum by doing one thing you promised yourself? All right, my friends, I got to get to online teaching, whatever that looks like. I am YouTubing it. I am trying to figure out my way, seriously. I got all the packets. That part was easy. It's the online stuff that I'm kind of like, wait, huh? What? And I'm not really good at not appearing like a professional. I know it's hard to believe because I clown in between everything I do, but trust me on that. Prayers welcome. As always, like if you like, join us if you haven't, subscribe. And until we talk again, my friends, know that I am praying for you, and best of all, keep clean, keep your distance. And until we talk again, know that you are blessed.